Today I'm at Selfridges in Birmingham. This is my favourite place because I've worked here myself for so many years, so let's do some Christmas shopping together. One thing I will say is if you're looking for fragrance in Birmingham, there is nowhere better to come than Selfridges. They've got such a lovely mixture of niche fragrances, popular fragrances that everybody loves, and you'll find selections like Byredo. Look at this gorgeous gift wrap that you could get as well, and also brands like Diptyque who do beautiful fragrances, candles, and honestly when it comes to Christmas, Diptyque is one of those brands. I've got jars of candles that I've had for years and years. They're so beautiful. You can keep them afterwards and store things like I've got my lip liners and my eyeliners in mine. When I worked here, I was a personal shopper for beauty, so I was unbiased across all of the brands, and one of my favourite places was always the Beauty Workshop. So this is a place where you don't necessarily need a brand to have a full counter. They might have one or two hero products or a few cult classics, and they all live here. So in the Beauty Workshop, this is where you're going to find some really unusual and special discoveries. For example, I've just spotted these Drunk Elephant suitcases. You've got all sorts of things in here that you just never know what you're going to find. In these Christmas gift guides, I've been avoiding skincare because I just think skin and hair care can be so difficult to get right as a gift unless you know a lot about the person you're buying for. But I've just seen one of my favourite skincare collections. It's the Kate Somerville Delicate range. Now, Kate developed this to be used after treatments. She practices in her clinic in LA. I went there actually last year, literally knocked on for Kate Somerville. She wasn't there, but it's worth a try. But basically she made this serum and this whole collection as a moisturiser and a cleanser to be used straight after a treatment, that if your skin's a bit sensitised or sensitive, it is super gentle and just really there to strengthen the skin barrier and restore the skin back to health. It's a really lovely range and I'd recommend it for all skin types. My sister's here with me. She doesn't want to be in the video, but she is absolutely mad about Tatcha. So she does facial massage and she always uses the moisturisers in her treatments, and she uses a lot of things on herself. I would say the Dewy Skin Cream is my personal favourite thing from Tatcha. It's such a lovely brand. This moisturiser is great for just generally giving your skin a bit of moisture and glow. It is more of an investment, and to be honest, you know me, because I've got rosacea, I tend to lean towards the more kind of simple La Roche-Posay, Avène, those kinds of brands. But to be honest, if you were gifting someone and they didn't have as niche a skin concern as mine, it's just the most beautiful brand. They've also got these gorgeous discovery sets. Tatcha as well do lots of minis, so if you wanted to try something without committing to a full size, you could. Something I have had before that I absolutely loved is this Hinoki body wash. Everything is just that bit of a soft, calm ritual, and they all feel like such a treat in the bathroom. She's also interjected to say that I must show you the Camellia cleansing oil. That is her favourite thing to take her makeup off with. One of my personal favourite brands that I use a lot of things from is the InkyList, and I just spotted this starter set. I feel like sometimes we can be guilty of assuming that something more expensive is more effective, but the InkyList is one of those brands that really proves that you don't need to spend a lot of money to get really great results from your skincare. They also offer an online service where you can fill in a questionnaire and essentially explain what you're looking for, and they will recommend the best things for that. So again, I know it's a bit more difficult if you're getting a gift, but I'm sure they would even be able to advise kind of universal popular choices that would work well for all skin types. This December I'm doing a fragrance event with Lancôme in Oxford Street, Selfridges, and so to prepare for that I've been learning all about their Absolute fragrances, and they're absolutely gorgeous. If you wanted to treat someone to something a little bit different, really decadent, and also a fragrance that will last particularly well, I can't recommend them enough. Let me show you three of my favourites. So the first one is Le Parfum. The smell of this is actually modelled on the smell of all the Lancôme skincare. All of them are centred on an ingredient of the Centifolia rose, but with all different imaginings. This one is really clean, delicate. You've got notes of tea in here, so there's something quite crisp about it. But that would be a really beautiful fragrance if you don't quite know what they like to wear and you just want to get something very pretty and elegant, I would say. Another one that has a bit more of a kick to it, this is one that I've been wearing a lot, is Rose on the Moon. There is a slight depth to this one. I feel like it is very unisex. It has a sharpness to it. There's something quite earthy about it, and it is a very pretty but mossy smell. You can almost smell like the ground and the, leaves and the stem and all of those things. And then one that I absolutely love, for anyone that worked at Selfridges at the same time as me and you remember Karen on Longcom, this is Oud Bouquet, and we all used to call it on the floor Eau de Karen because she always wore it, and she's got a laugh that you hear her before you see her. This smell is just hits you like a ton of bricks. It is a very overpowering smell in a lovely way. If you've got a big character, this is the kind of thing you can expect them to wear. So it's very, very sweet, but you've got oud in here, so you have this real intensity, this really hearty sweetness. And what I really like about this, they all last very, very well. And don't get me wrong, they're an investment, so you would expect them to. But like one spray will last the day. But what I will say is Rose on the Moon, for example, I feel stays quite consistent. Whereas Oud Bouquet, by the end of the day, it's really soft and creamy. And it's the kind of smell that would match like a big chunky knit for winter. But whatever you were looking for, whether you like really soft, delicate smells, there's a few kind of 80s, 90s powerhouses that are real head turners. They've got absolutely everything, and I just think the bottles are absolutely beautiful. One of the makeup brands that you won't find anywhere else in the city is Tom Ford, and honestly, if you were to get one lovely decadent gift, a Tom Ford lipstick is one of those things that will last forever and always feels like such a luxury treat. As well, Tom Ford have beautiful fragrances, and again, a real mixture of creamy, opulent smells, really lovely fresh citrusy smells. They last really well, and the bottles are going to be a beautiful gift. You can't come to Selfridges without going to Charlotte Tilbury. When I was here, this was a brand I spent so much time on. We were actually the second ever counter of Charlotte Tilbury's full stop, and it was just such a lovely time because if you remember, in those days you had a look in a box, and so if you were coming to shop for someone or you were getting your makeup done, you'd literally go, I want that one, and you'd have your whole look dictated to you. Now, very similar premise. One thing that Charlotte Tilbury is set up so well for is gift giving. So whether it's for you, whether it's for someone else, you can go and explain a little bit about them, the kind of things they like to wear, and they will help you to pick absolutely perfect things for them. A few things that I would really recommend: the lip liners are fantastic. Pillow Talk is probably one of my most used products, and it comes in different variations depending on the skin tone of the person that you're buying for. Lipsticks are fantastic, eyeshadow quads are gorgeous, Flawless Filter, if you knew their shade, is brilliant. You honestly can't go wrong, but the one thing I would say is feel free to ask for help, and the team will be happy to help you choose something perfect for whoever you're shopping for. Another brand that is exclusive to Selfridges in the city is Pat McGrath, and if you're getting for someone that loves maybe more is more makeup or lovely shimmery glittery finishes, this is the place to come. As well, if you've got a Taylor Swift fan on your hands, she wears all Pat McGrath makeup, we believe, in the Eras tour, so the team can advise you on the things that we know Taylor wears, and maybe that can be a special gift idea too. You've also got lovely luxury brands like Valentino, which is a gorgeous place to get lipsticks, or Prada, which have lovely fragrances, and also this lovely lip balm that Sabrina Carpenter used in the Please 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 video. And no trip to the Selfridges Beauty Hall is complete without going to see Karen on Lemaire. She didn't want to be in the video, but she's a really lovely old friend of mine, and she'll point you in the right direction whatever you need. The one thing I'll really say is if you're making a day of it, you've got to come to Selfridges. Obviously they've got loads of lovely Christmas gifts. It's all about the experiences here. So on the weekends, for example, they let off confetti cannons. Santa's always wandering around. They've got a lovely big downstairs section, food, toys, everything you could need for the whole family. I'd also really recommend, if you want some real one-to-one guidance, you could see Joseph on the Beauty Concierge for an unbiased consultation. Zoe G in personal shopping is the warmest, best person you're ever going to meet in your life. But whatever happens, you'll have a lovely day out at Selfridges, so do pop in here over Christmas.